We are here today to honor a group of 6 individuals that did something above and beyond. I can't say how proud I am and the words I'll utilize here in a second for what happened that day, but it was, as you'll soon hear, above and beyond.
On Labor Day of this year, a couple weeks ago, we had just a routine call for a person stung by a bee. Being such a routine call, we didn't have a whole lot of information, as we just sent a BLS ambulance with 2 EMTs to the scene. They got there, found a patient unresponsive on his back, laying in his backyard. We immediately said, we're probably going to need ALS here. They immediately dispatched an ALS ambulance, which brought a paramedic to the scene, but they were still 7 to 8 minutes away. Our EMTs immediately rendered care. He immediately ran back to his EMS bag, grabbed a drug that we call epinephrine, because the patient was what we think in anaphylaxis. Drew up the medication through a checked and inject kit. He drew it out of a vial, went back to the patient, administered the medication into the patient's leg, and he was stung 150 more times when he gave the patient the medication.
If it wasn't for the incredible act of valor by EMT Ike Mulligan under extreme risk of injury or death, his ability to sacrifice himself in the heat of the moment allowed this patient to survive. The incredible team effort by everyone on scene was impressive, and is a constant reminder of the impressive work our responders do that serve the town of Penfield. A special thanks to everyone that stopped what they were doing on Labor Day to help come in and put us back together and staff up immediately. On this day, we honor the following individuals with the unit citation for their outstanding efforts. And if they can come up, Hannah Tott and Jason Smith, EMT Christina Jovseska and paramedic Nate Primo, EMT Ashley Pisciota and EMT Ike Mulligan. We have given out medals for CPR saves. We have given out pins for delivering a baby. We've also given out unit commendations before in our past, but I think for the first time in our 57-year history, we are giving a medal out for an act of valor, an action that was beyond heroic, courageous, and selfless. This goes to an EMT, the son of Dennis and Lori Mulligan, who grew up in New York City originally, went to high school in Fairport, attended college at Fredonia, and post his college studies, he wanted to do more. He became a firefighter in Fairport, and then he wanted to be active again, and he took an EMT class to kind of pursue his dream to become a career firefighter. He worked at Monroe Ambulance for a short time before landing here. On this day of September 30th, 2023, I give a Medal of Valor to EMT Ike Mulligan for his actions to save a life on Labor Day 2023.
First and foremost, it's my privilege to be able to represent the Penfield community along with some of our surrounding suburbs in the city of Rochester in the 55th Senate District. But more than that, some of you might not know that the first time I ever volunteered was actually with the local ambulance where I grew up in Pittsford. And so I'll tell you that I know many of you who are maybe perhaps dispatchers can relate to. There's that sound when a call comes in, and at 16, that sound is now instilled in my brain. And if I hear it at a computer now, even now, my adrenaline starts pumping. Of course, I was 16 and 17. I was never an actual EMT or paramedic. I only heard of the stories and, of course, dispatched folks out. And I think the thing that I learned from these, these are our neighbors. They're our aunts, our uncles, our teachers in some cases who do this work, is that they're not heroes in the sense that they have capes and armor that make them, stronger and, instead they are people like us. They're our neighbors. And they're actually ordinary people who choose to do extraordinary things every single day. And if you ask me, that's actually what a hero is. You're an ordinary person who you have the same body as the rest of us, the same mind, but you choose to do extraordinary things. In my capacity as state senator, it is my honor to present proclamations to this incredible group of people, our community members who went far above and beyond than most people are ever asked to do. I want to just read some of these words because I think they're important from this proclamation. Whereas it is the privilege of this legislative body to honor Ike Mulligan for his heroic actions on September 4th, 2023, where he demonstrated incredible valor by placing a patient's welfare above his own, and without thought or delay, bravely risked his life in an endeavor to save another. And whereas Ike Mulligan has demonstrated outstanding care, selfless service, and critical aid to patients as a provider and guardian of the Penfield community. And whereas Penfield Ambulance would not be able to do all the important life-saving work they do without the dedication and care given by those such as Ike Mulligan. And whereas emergency services play a crucial role in the safety, health, and well-being of the communities they serve. And whereas it is the belief of this legislative body that when individuals and communities of such noble aims and accomplishments are brought to our attention, it is appropriate to publicly proclaim and commend those individuals for the edification and emulation of others. And whereas such service, which is truly the lifeblood of the community and the state, so often goes unrecognized and unheralded. Therefore, be it resolved, I, State Senator Samra Brouk, recognize that in Ike Mulligan, we have an individual worthy of the highest respect and esteem. Thank you all to everyone at Penfield Ambulance for everything you do to keep our community safe.
I have a proclamation from the town of Penfield. And whereas the first responders of Penfield Ambulance perform life-saving work in the Penfield community each day, and whereas the recent heroic actions of EMT Ike Mulligan deserve special recognition, as well as the Penfield Ambulance, as they were called to Harris Road on Labor Day to assist a man who has been stung by bees. EMT Ike Mulligan and EMT Ashley Pizzota were first on the scene and found a man lying on his back in a bee suit next to multiple bee boxes. Upon arrival, both EMTs were immediately stung. And whereas despite the danger, EMT Mulligan administered first aid to the patient while being stung roughly 150 times himself. And whereas the Penfield paramedic Nate Primo, paramedic Jason Smith, EMT Hannah Teet, Penfield Ambulance Operations Manager Dan Riordan also responded along with our Parrington Ambulance and the Penfield Fire Department to assist. And whereas due to the heroic actions and the quick actions of the EMT Mulligan and all the first responders, the victim was stabilized and has since recovered, which we're very grateful. And so now, therefore, be it resolved that the Penfield Town Board proudly joins the entire Penfield community to say thank you to EMT Mulligan and to all who participated in this incredible life-saving event. And this is signed today on September 30th as myself as Supervisor Debbie Drawe of the town of Penfield. And so I wanted to thank you all very much for your actions.
We have an absolute phenomenal team here. I couldn't be more proud of them. And at the end of the day, I don't think a lot of EMTs would have done the same thing EMT Ike did that day, but it's just proof that we do have people out there that are ready, willing to help and to sacrifice a lot to, to save someone.